संपूर्ण लॉकडाउन होने जा रहा है।
মনোযোগ অকর্ণন অসাবধানতায় বিপদ ঘটাব পারে।
Namaskar. A very warm good afternoon to one and all. The galaxy of intellectuals, our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor Vinod Kumar Jain sir, our Honorable Chief Guest, Professor Alok Kumar Buragohai sir, respected faculty members and my dear friends. My co-host Karan Kumar Das and I, Gargi Sharma, on behalf of Student Science Council, Tezpur University, welcome you all to the virtual meet for the inauguration ceremony of Inscignis 2021. Every year, the 28th of February is celebrated over the country as the National Science Day to mark the discovery of Raman effect by the great Indian physicist Sir Chandrasekhar Venkataraman on the same day in the year 1930. On this blessed day, we take this opportunity to rejoice science and its beauty, its vastness, and its development.
নমস্কাৰ। বন্তি হৈছে পোহৰৰ প্ৰতীক। এই পোহৰে আমাৰ অন্ধকাৰ তথা অপায় অমংগল নাশ কৰিব বুলি আশা ৰাখি আজিৰ এই বন্তি প্ৰজ্বলন কাৰ্যসূচীটো আমি এতিয়া এনিমেটেড ভিডিঅ'ৰ জৰিয়তে কৰিব ওলাইছো। আশা কৰো আপোনালোক সকলোৱে আমাৰ এই সৰু প্ৰচেষ্টাটিত সহযোগিতা আগবঢ়াইছে।
Now, I request our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor Vinod Kumar Jain sir, to inspire us through his words. Please, sir.
Thank you, Gargi. First, let me congratulate the TU, SCC, and the organizing committee of the Inscignis for organizing this event. And I am particularly delighted to have my old friend, Professor Buragohai, whom I have known for many, many years. So I look forward to listening to him. Professor Hazarika, the Dean Sciences, Dr. Bipul Sharma, the coordinator of the faculty coordinator of this event, the President TU SSC, Mr. Neel Kamal Das, the two student coordinators, Mr. Antarik Parashar, Mr. Ritik Pal, and other members of the organizing team, and everyone else who is part of this virtual event. My greetings to each one of you on this important occasion of the National Science Day. This day, as you just heard from Gargi, it is celebrated as a mark of respect to this great Indian scientist, Dr. C.V. Raman, for his outstanding discovery of Raman effect, when there was hardly any modern analytical infrastructure. So this day basically is celebrated not only to remind us about the considerable scientific heritage which the country is proud of, but also about the importance of science and technology in our lives and how crucial is science, technology, and of late the innovation in the empowerment of any nation. Having said that, a lot has changed in last 40 or 50 years. When I was a young student like some of you, back then we got into research in the field of research, or when we pursued our master's degree or BSc in sciences, it was just for the love of science. We never had this thing in mind that, we are getting into science because we would get a good job or any such thing. It was purely out of love, the joy we derived out of doing, some calculations in maths or in physics. But things have changed drastically since then. So that curiosity-driven research has now led to a very different kind of requirement these days, and that is people ask you how relevant is your research to the needs of the society, and therefore a lot has changed since then, and there is a great deal of focus now on problem-solving research, and especially the regulatory agencies and the funding agencies. In addition to, of course, the powers that be at the center, that is the governments, they all are asking these sort of difficult questions, asking these questions of the scientific community, of the institutions like ours, the IITs, ICERs, and what have you. That the kind of science and technology or the research you are doing in the field of science or engineering, is it relevant to the needs of the society? And this brings me to this issue of interdisciplinarity. Some of you who are pursuing research in basic disciplines, purely looking at some of the systems, whether they are chemical systems or they are physical systems, they're biological systems. They could be, a system which requires an insight from, an interdisciplinary perspective. So, these days, there's nothing simple anymore. I mean, perhaps all the simple architecture of any system has been probably understood quite well, but of considerable curiosity now is to look at any mechanism, any phenomena from an interdisciplinary perspective. Even the new education policy has articulated very strongly about the need for research with a view to translate that research in something more meaningful, something more innovative nature, so that that serves a useful purpose for the society, and particularly for a country like ours, which is still on the developmental trajectory, and there is a great deal of solutions to be found or to be recommended by the scientific community for the government to implement. So, well, on the one hand, there are challenges before us, but at the same time, it's very exciting to learn that the country is looking forward towards the institutions to enable the country in moving forward with the developmental imperatives. Some of these strategic focus areas, may I just take maybe a couple of minutes to highlight what is mentioned in the new education policy. These strategic focus areas where the research is being sort of sought to be carried out. These are the areas: digital economy, cybersecurity, artificial intelligence, virtual reality, data analytics, climate change, energy, air, water, pollution, global food security, tackling antimicrobial resistance, ecosystem health, and in general, the well-being. So these are the broad categories of the focus areas where the government is expecting the institutions to undertake research projects. As you are all aware, that the theme of this year's Science Day is science, technology, and innovation, right? Impacting our skills and education and work, right? So basically, the government is thinking of how we can come up with innovative solutions, innovative products, so that we can contribute meaningfully to the wealth generation for the country. And I have said it in the past, and I reiterate what the present government wants. And in fact, why I'm quoting again and again what the government wants is that we are funded by them. So we have a moral responsibility to meet their expectations. This $5 trillion economy, which the government keeps talking about time and again, it is basically, it emanates from the fact that the government has a lot of faith in the scientific caliber, in the skills, in the skill sets of the scientific community of this country. And in fact, not a very, hugely satisfying thing, but nevertheless, it's not a small achievement. The country has made progress as far as the innovation index is concerned, the global innovation index. Now the country stands somewhere around 48 rank. It has improved in that ranking. So the government is trying to provide a enabling environment, a conducive environment for technological innovations. So I think some you youngsters who are doing your PhD or either in the early stages or about to finish, it would be nice that whatever research you do is of applied nature rather than being very esoteric. So with these words, I congratulate and really would like to appreciate the effort, put on record the efforts you have made, the entire organizing team, and especially the TUSC and my good friends, Professor Debajit Hazarika, who happens to be part of the administration as Dean Sciences, and Professor Bipul Sharma. So thank you so much for giving me this opportunity to say a few words to you all. Thank you.
শ্রদ্ধার উপাচাৰ্য মাননীয় শ্ৰীযুত বিনোদ কুমাৰ জৈন ডাঙৰীয়াক মই তেখেতৰ সাৰুৱা ভাষণৰ বাবে ধন্যবাদ যাচিলোঁ। এতিয়া আছে তেজপুৰ বিশ্ববিদ্যালয় ছাত্ৰ বিজ্ঞান পৰিষদৰ সভাপতি শ্ৰীমান নীলকমল দাসক তেখেতৰ বক্তৃতা আগবঢ়াবলৈ মই অনুৰোধ জনালো।
Thank you, Karan. Respected Chief Guest Dr. Alok Buragohai sir, Vice Chancellor of Tezpur University Professor Binod Kumar Jain sir, Pro Vice Chancellor of Tezpur University Professor Dilip Saikia sir, Registrar of Tezpur University Dr. Biren Das sir, Chief Advisor of Student Science Council Professor Debojit Hazarika sir, respected Deans, Faculty Advisors of Student Science Council, Head of the Department of respective Departments of Sciences, faculty members of Tezpur University, and the student fraternity of Tezpur University. A good evening to you all, and I welcome you all to the inauguration ceremony of Inscignis 2021. Thank you for gracing the event with your presence and making the event more august. As we embark on another journey and mark new beginnings by setting new milestone and achieving the previously aspired goals, Student Science Council remains strong and flourished in its new mission to popularize science, breaking the superstition and making science more accessible and approachable to the masses. Considering the ongoing situation, the Council had its own set of problems, but with the right approach and support, we were able to maintain the legacy, and here we are initiating the very first partial Inscignis. It gives me immense pleasure to introduce the first event of Student Science Council 2020 to 2021 after its formation, and I believe the outcome is a great learning experience for the generation to come for the Council. The efforts given by the Inscignis Committee, including both students and the faculty fraternity, has taken the bars to a higher level, and the events are being conducted in a full-fledged manner despite all the odds. The Council hopes and plans to expand its activities in the upcoming days and establish its ideals through its impactful events such as the outreach program, weekly science discussions, call of beat, and many more events adapted to the ongoing scenario. One of them being the Bridge Gap Initiative, which aims to provide study materials and assistance to the school's students in need who lack facilities and resources due to the ongoing pandemic, governed and curated by the students of Tezpur University. With the support of Tezpur University administration, faculty advisors, and the students fraternity, I rightfully hope that the journey of the Council is going to be remarkable and fruitful. I would like to end my speech here by welcoming the chief guest, the faculty members, students fraternity, and everyone watching this through the live stream of Inscignis 2021. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Nilkamal Das. Before moving to the next event, our chief guest for this ceremony, Honorable Professor Alok Buragohai sir, just joined with us. We welcome you, sir, to this inauguration ceremony.
Thank you. Professor Jain sir, good afternoon.
You. Well, good to see you, Professor Buragohai.
Very good to see you after long time, yes.
Yeah, all is well at your end?
All is well by the grace of God, yes. I hope everything is fine by you as well.
Yeah. We are doing reasonably okay. Yeah, thank you. And you must pay a visit. I mean, it has been long.
Yeah, I will. In fact, tomorrow I am passing by Tezpur, but I am going to Jorhat. But anyway, I will.
Just drop in for a few minutes if you
I will certainly.
You can spare some time.
Yeah. Certainly. Thank you so much.
Now, I request the Dean of School of Sciences, Professor Debojit Hazarika sir, to enlighten us with his words. Please, sir.
Thank you and good afternoon. Honorable Vice Chancellor of Tezpur University, Professor V.K. Jain, Professor Alok Kumar Buragohai, former Vice Chancellor of Tezpur University.
I'm sorry to interrupt, sir.
Professor Hazarika, your volume is rather low.
So, the volume is very low.
Can you hear me now?
Not properly, sir.
A bit more.
Sir, you are not audible, sir.
Can you go directly, Devajit, without the earphone and all that?
Yeah,
If you can
yeah.
directly, yes, I think that is better.
Sir, you are not audible, sir.
Gargi, I'll join you a little later.
Okay, sir.
I have to inaugurate one more seminar.
Yes, sir.
And I'll be back with you in a little while. Okay?
Sure,
I will
sir.
hear Professor Borogohin. Okay?
Thank you.
Sure,
Please
sir.
go ahead.
Yeah.
মাননীয় শ্ৰীযুত প্ৰেমজিৎ হাজৰিকা ছাৰলৈকে আমি পিছত ৰৈ দিম। এতিয়া ইয়াৰ পিছত আছিলে আমাৰ এই বৰ্ষৰ অনুভৱ সমন্বয়ক শ্ৰদ্ধাৰ ডক্টৰ বিপুল শৰ্মা ছাৰৰ বক্তৃতা। তেখেতক সাৰুৱা কথাই আমাক উপকৃত কৰিবলৈ অনুৰোধ জনাম।
Thank you, Karan. Am I audible?
Yes, sir. You are audible.
Okay. A very good afternoon to one and all. Honorable Vice Chancellor, Tezpur University, Professor Vinod Kumar Jain sir, and today's chief guest, Professor Alok Kumar Buragohai sir, Chairman Academic, Royal Global University. He is also the former Vice Chancellor of Dibrugarh University, and also we are happy that he was here as professor for many years in the Department of MBBT as well as Register. So during his time only I joined this university. So thank you, sir, for joining us today. Honorable Pro Vice Chancellor, sir, Honorable Register, sir, Controller of Examination, Finance Officer, respected deans, heads of the departments, all dignitaries, esteemed faculty members, staff, all the participants, and my dear student friends. So today I feel really honored to welcome you all to this propitious episode of Inscignis, the mega annual science fest to celebrate National Science Day in Tezpur University. In order to facilitate science amongst us, Tezpur University has set the ingenious platform Inscignis to boost young minds towards science and technology. So with such a beautiful theme of the year, Vigyanaha Pradhanam Uttaram, which means science is the answer to everything, a plethora of scientific events are scheduled in 2.5 days package in at least 15 different categories. The elementary theme of this festival is to look at potential of using science disciplines in the benefit of a healthier life and environment. So it is one of the biggest science festival in the region to comprehend the concept of the theme, where students, researchers, academicians, and industry people will earmark their scientific ideas. So I'm sure that it will stimulate the young minds. I express my sincere gratitude to all the participants from different parts of the nation. It is really satisfying to have you all in a common platform, and I'm sure that we all are going to be highly benefited. So release the event. Once again, my heartfelt welcome to you all. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for your valuable words. Now, I request the Dean of School of Sciences, Professor Debojit Hazarika, sir, to enlighten us with his words. Please, sir.
Am I audible this time?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Sorry for the interruption. Actually, I forgot that the most important question in our time is, am I audible? Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor V.K. Jain, Professor Alok Kumar Buragohain, former Vice Chancellor of Dibrugad University, currently with the Royal Global University, and our esteemed past colleague, invited guests, members of the faculty and staff, dear students, organizers, and participants. I take this opportunity to welcome each and every one of you to the 8th edition of Inscignis, which is being organized by the Student Science Council of Tezpur University. Despite the odds, Inscignis 2021 is being held in its usual time. That is, keeping with the tradition of coinciding the event with the National Science Day every year. However, this is the first time that this event is being held in the virtual mode. Reflecting back the past year after the Inscignis 2020, we have seen an unprecedented year beyond any imagination. The novel coronavirus-induced pandemic ran havoc, affecting the entire mankind and almost holding the world to a standstill. Lives to the excess of 25 lakh have already been lost, and many economies are thrown out of gear. The pandemic still ravages around the globe, but with the vaccines available, hopes are well-founded that the disease will be brought under control. But undeniably, the past year has provided us many important lessons that we must take into account while moving in the year ahead and beyond. Among other things, we have seen that collective efforts have indeed produced an unprecedented pace of scientific innovation. The rapid antigen tests were readily available within a short period of time, which was effective in fighting the spread. Vaccines were ready in less than a year, so were many life-saving treatments for COVID-19. So it is indeed a matter of pride that our scientific community contributed in a big way to these developments. The challenge, however, is far from over. The effort is still on to make testing and vaccination both to be simpler, faster, and affordable. We may also admit that there were indeed some positive outcomes of the pandemic. We have learned that it takes time, planning, building up trust, and bringing together resources and new scientific knowledge to manage the pandemic. There can be no doubt that similar cooperation needs to be applied in every other areas of human endeavor to get over the crisis collectively and with finality. Innovations on so many fronts in dealing with the pandemic is certainly a positive output. The crisis has certainly brought out the creativity and ingenuity in many of us. It has taught us to fight and find ways to proceed and succeed despite all odds. We cannot but agree more that it is science and the power of scientific knowledge and applications that can save the day for us. Whereas our attention was targeted to coronavirus-related results, there are many groundbreaking work and path-breaking missions that took place during the past 1 year. I am sure that as the Student Science Council of Tezpur University is organizing Inscignis 2021 with the motto Vigyanam Pradhanam Uttaram, science is the foremost answer, many of these developments shall be deliberated upon during the course of the event. Recalling back, Inscignis, the annual science fest of Tezpur University, started in 2014 at the initiative of a group of small, motivated students of the School of Sciences. Just as the word Inscignis stands for ushering in distinguished, remarkable, or rapid growth or development in a field, with every passing year, Inscignis has come up with novel ways of popularizing science and has seen increased participation. The event is also honored every year by participation of distinguished scientists and academicians from different parts of the globe. The last edition in 2020 had an amazing array of activities. I am told that it saw the largest footfall and maximum number of participants till that time. As I mentioned earlier, this took place only a few weeks before the lockdown. I think this year's theme is aptly chosen as it seeks to carry forward the healthy tradition of promoting and popularizing science while focusing its all-round importance with a wide range of activities which include discussions and deliberations. I also understand that Inscignis 2021 is being held under a lot of constraints. Our educational institutions are yet to be back to its normal ways of functioning. Tezpur University is having only a limited number of students back in the campus, so many of the organizing members are having to work it outside from distant locations and often managing with their own resources. Holding various kinds of events online is also a challenging task in itself, but innovating or devising many ingenious ways to cope up with the challenge is definitely the need of the time. I am hopeful that the efforts of the organizing committee will bear fruit and there will be a great deal of enthusiastic participation. I am also happy that the 7th edition of Anunad, the science magazine of the Student Science Council, is being released today in keeping with the tradition of releasing it alongside the Inscignis. I am sure that it will be received with appreciation by one and all. Before concluding, I would like to take this opportunity to offer my sincere thanks to Dr. Bipul Sharma, Department of Chemical Sciences, the faculty coordinator, for shouldering the responsibility assigned on him. I thank the faculty advisors, including the heads of departments, for the Student Science Council for the constant support. I also offer my appreciation to Neil Kamal and other members of the Student Science Council, Antorik, Ritik, and the entire Inscignis 2021 team for their effort to make this event happen. I earnestly thank all the resource persons who have agreed to spare their valuable time. So I thank the Honorable Vice Chancellor for his wholehearted support, and I also thank the Pro Vice Chancellor, Professor D.K. Saikia, and Registrar Dr. Biren Das for their enduring support. I once again welcome all the participants and hope that they will have an enjoyable and fruitful participation all the way. Thank you all.
Thank you, sir, for inspiring us with your words. Now, Mr. Nishant Hoytner The editor of the Inscignis magazine 2021 is going to speak a few words on our annual magazine, Onunad.
Good evening, Honorable Chief Guest Professor Alok Kumar Buragohai sir, Honorable Vice Chancellor of Tezpur University, Professor Vinod Kumar Jain sir, Honorable Registrar sir, Honorable Vice Chancellor sir, the Dean of School of Sciences, Professor Deposit Hazarika sir, and the respective head of the Department of the School of Sciences. First of all, I want to express my gratitude to the whole editorial team and also to the whole Inscignis 2021 team for keeping the magazine alive. The year 2020 was a year of despair, of fear with a sense of loss, which buried itself deep in our bones. But it was also a year of learning to have faith, to be brave when we have no hope, and also finding happiness in whichever way possible. To us, being able to conduct Inscignis 2021, albeit virtually, and also keeping the tradition of publishing the yearly science magazine Onunad alive has proved to be this source of happiness. Onunad, which was previously known as the Souvenir of Inscignis 2020, Souvenir of Inscignis, began its journey of publication 6 years ago, and this year is the 7th issue of the science magazine. And it has received much appreciation and response from its readers and also from the content contributors. This year's theme, the theme of this year's Onunad is the same theme as of the Inscignis 2021, which is Vigyanaha Pradhanam Uttaram. Science is the answer to everything. And also there is a special mention to this whole thing, with special mention to coronavirus along with the theme. And also the fight shown by humanity against the coronavirus. This year's issue holds valuable write-ups by different people, and there are sections on the COVID-19 pandemic and also its impact, and also there is a section on the winners of the Nobel Prize 2020. And this year's issue of the magazine highlights the development of science throughout history. Corona changed life as we knew throughout the world, but due to extensive research work and scientific developments, the repercussions were contained. As we speak, the world takes another step towards recovery. For Tezpur University, the closing down of the university due to the pandemic wasn't the only saddening fact. We lost many members of the Tezpur University family last year due to COVID-19 and also due to other reasons. Among them, the demise of Professor Ashok Kumar sir of Department of Physics and also Dr. Tapas Medi sir of Department of Molecular Biology and Biotechnology will always create a hole in our hearts. The whole editorial team and also the team of Inscignis 2021 pay our heartfelt condolences to them through this year's issue of Onunad. We hope Inscignis and Onunad proves to be an encouraging push for our future scientists and also society helpers. This magazine is dedicated to every frontline warrior who are playing a prominent role in protecting us from this pandemic. Doctors, nurses, the public health sector, people from the public health sector, and also every behind the scene workers who are not getting the recognition but being there with us every step we take. As the corona pandemic is prevailing, we have decided to launch this year's issue with a short introduction video and Printed copies of the magazine will be distributed once university reopens. So now I seek everyone's permission to launch the 7th issue of the annual science magazine of the Tezpur University. Onuna, for the video. Thank you very much.
ধন্যবাদ। আজিৰ এই উদ্বোধনী অনুষ্ঠানৰ মুখ্য অতিথি ৰূপে আমন্ত্ৰিত সন্মানীয় ব্যক্তিজন হৈছে আমাৰ সকলোৰে শ্ৰদ্ধাৰ প্ৰফেসৰ আলোক কুমাৰ বুঢ়াগোহাঁই ছাৰ। তেজপুৰ বিশ্ববিদ্যালয়ৰ সৈতে তেখেতৰ এক বিশেষ সম্পৰ্ক আছে। 2008 পৰা 2013 বৰ্ষলৈ তেখেতে তেজপুৰ বিশ্ববিদ্যালয়ৰ প্ৰধান কাৰ্যকাৰক হিচাপে কাৰ্যনিৰ্বাহ কৰিছিল। তেখেতে ডিব্ৰুগড় বিশ্ববিদ্যালয়ৰ উপাচাৰ্য ৰূপেও বিশ্ববিদ্যালয়খনৰ বিকাশত বিশেষ অৱদান আগবঢ়াইছিল। বৰ্তমান তেখেত অসম ৰয়েল গ্লোবেল ইউনিভাৰ্চিটিৰ অধ্যক্ষ ৰূপে কৰ্মৰত। এনেকুৱা বিশাল ব্যক্তিত্বৰ অধিকাৰী ব্যক্তি এজনক আজি আমাৰ মাজত পাই আমি নথৈ আনন্দিত হৈছো। এতিয়া বেছি পলম নকৰাকৈ মই তেখেতৰ বহুমূলীয়া ভাষণ ৰাখিবলৈ অনুৰোধ জনালো।
ধন্যবাদ কৰণ। Thank you very much. Honorable Vice Chancellor, I think he will join us soon, Professor Vinod Kumar Jain, Pro Vice Chancellor, Professor Dilip Saikia, other distinguished faculty members, Dr. Bipul Sharma. I can see my good old friend Subendu, Manavendra Mandal also from the department, and a lot many others. Devajit, of course, is there. Devajit Hazarika, Professor Devajit Hazarika, Munmun Hazarika, they are all there, I can see. At the very outset, let me place on record my very, very sincere gratitude to all of you, the organizers, Student Science Council and Inscignis, for being so very thoughtful to have invited me to join you on this very important occasion of the national celebration of the National Science Day 2021. So I'm very happy, I'm very pleased. I think this is a very unusual kind of feelings to become a chief guest in my own home, because that was the place where I spent most of my professional years. I can see Robin also. So nice to see you, Robin. So before I really get into the address on the topic, that is National Science Day, this year's theme is Future of Science, Technology, Innovation, Impact on Education, Skill and Work. So that is a very broad national theme. But I will get into it a little later. But then, it reminds me of while speaking from the floor of Student Science Council, Tezpur University, it rings a bell in my mind. Only day before yesterday, at around 10 o'clock, I got a phone call from Cardiff, the UK, and on the other side of the phone was one of our students, Dr. Manzil Saikia. And it was Manzil Saikia, I think one of the student leaders then. He was a student of the Integrated Science Mathematics Department. And one day he came to my office. I was then the registrar, I think it was 2011, if I recall correctly. And he invited me, tomorrow is a Saturday, and on Saturday, every Saturday, some of us, the students, we gather in a room and we make certain presentations on our own, before our own student friends, and we have discussions. And these were on scientific topics. So can you please join us tomorrow, Saturday? So I was so very pleasantly surprised at the own initiative of the students. And I have gone there and I found, it was jam-packed. It was packed with students on a Saturday noon. And I addressed them. Then the idea was mooted that why don't you get yourself organized into some kind of a student forum? And I invited them to my office. I helped them draft the first constitution of this body, the Students' Council of Tezpur University, and that was how it was born. And now I find another word, the Inscignis. I think I was not aware about Inscignis then. I don't know whether it was there or not. But then the birth of the Student Science Forum, I'm very happy and privileged to have been a part of it and associated with those days. Now, Manjil Saikia, Dr. Manjil Saikia now. He was a BS integrated student of our university who took the lead in the formation of this forum, the Student Science Council in Tezpur University. He finished his PhD after completing his integrated MSc from Tezpur University. He went to Vienna University, did his PhD there in mathematics, and then now he is in Cardiff University in the UK, from where he rang me up day before yesterday, and where he is doing a postdoc. So that is put into perspective the birth of Student Science Council at Tezpur University way back in 2011, and I think it took form, the official form, in 2012, if I recall correctly. So anyway, it is good to see that it is flourishing, and I'm so very happy to be a part of Student Science Councils even today on the occasion of the National Science Day. So very briefly speaking, National Science Day, as we know, it has been celebrated, it has been observed in the country since 1986 at the initiative of the CSIR, Council of Scientific and Industrial Research. But the whole idea was initiated, I think, by NCSTC, National Council for Science, Technology, Communication. And since then, 1986, the country has been observing February 28th as the National Science Day in honor and in memory of one of the finest scientists India ever had in modern time, Sir C.V. Raman. C.V. Raman, as we all know, it was on this day, February 28th, that he, for the first time, he announced to the world, rather, his epoch-making invention about the Raman effect, the scattering of light. Right? So that was such a significant invention, discovery in science, that it has got more significance than the discovery itself. The reason is Raman had never gone abroad before. He had his early education in Madras. He had his college from Presidency College, Madras. Then he completed his master's also from there with flying colors. Then soon, in I think if I recall correctly, 1907, soon after his master's in Tamil Nadu, he moved to Indian Society for Cultivation of Science in Calcutta. And he joined there and devoted himself for his almost entire life in scientific research. And it is there in 1928, he came up with this very famous invention of discovery of Raman effect. And he, on this date, in 1928, he announced to the world about this invention. And for this, as you all know, again, 1990 and 1930 Nobel Prize in Physics went to him. That's a huge recognition of Indian talent, Indian science, and everything that goes along with that. Now, the significance of celebrating National Science Day, let me also tell you on the side that National Science Day is being observed not only in India. There are many countries where a day of the year is dedicated to celebration of science, because science is so very important in the progress of humanity. It is almost universal. Without science and technology, more than science and technology, the scientific temperament, the scientific mindset, the rational mindset is more important in the progression of human civilization. So there is a very underpinning, deeper meaning or deeper philosophy of celebration of science. It is not technology per se, scientific discovery and invention per se, but it is the mindset, it is the attitude, it is the mentality, it is the temperament that drives the scientific spirit, leading to new discoveries, new inventions, and new innovations in technology. So this is more important. Let us not get, for a while, let us not get distracted by the glitch of the technology. What we are celebrating, not the technology per se, which is mind-boggling. What we are celebrating, actually, the mind behind the machines. The mind behind the machines are more important. Unless we are rational, unless we are logical, unless we are systematic, unless we are methodical, we cannot pursue science. So I think this is the underlying philosophy behind celebrating, observing National Science Day. And we have chosen in India for the right reason, February 28, because as I have mentioned, why this day, the significance of this date. Even UNESCO, United Nations, also has a national, International Science Day. That is for peace and development, right? So this is celebration of science and technology is universal, because without science and technology, a modern science and technology, as I have said, the scientific spirit of humanity is more important in driving the wheels of civilization forward. This is very important. So, why National Science Day celebration with C.V. Raman, his discovery at the center stage is important for us. It has more than one meaning, as I said. It has got more significance than the mere success in his discovery of the Raman effect. Raman's scientific pursuit leading to his Nobel Prize for Raman effect discovery denotes that in India, in our country, absolutely excellent science is possible without going to any other place in the world. We can do ourselves very good world-class science. Raman proved it way back in 1928, globally acknowledged through his Nobel Prize. Now we often get carried away by the progress of science and technology abroad in the West, especially. Everybody wants to go abroad and believe that science and technology, real progress can happen only in the West. They got better minds. It is not. Right. So celebration, observance of National Science Day has an underlying meaning that absolutely good science, excellent science is possible even in India. And once again, I tell you, young students, that please always remember, for doing science, what is of absolute importance is your mind. Is your mind, not the machine. The mind, that means the human being. It is said that the man behind the machine is more important than the machine. How true it is, right? And when we say the man, it is the woman as well, and it is especially the mind. The human mind behind the machine is more important than the machine. So, and that mind does not recognize political boundaries, geographic boundaries, or any other boundary. Right. This is also amply exemplified by the contribution of Indian scientists or Indian Rishi Munis, the scholars of ancient times, to the understanding of the universe through the lens of science. Don't forget that the concept of zero, the concept of decimal system, everything was initiated and put forward to the world for the first time thousands and thousands of years ago by Aryabhatta and all other those ancient scientists. Let us not forget that the concept of atom was placed before the world. Anu, Paramanu, these were all there way back thousands of years ago, thousands of years before John Dalton came up with his theory of atomic, atomic theory. Right, we knew about it. So while celebrating science, the contribution of the Indian science to the world science, to the understanding of the universe, we have to remember our civilizational strength as well. We have tremendous heritage of scientific knowledge and scientific culture, and this should not be, forgotten or kept aside, being carried away by whatever is happening over the last 200, 300 years in the realm of science. So our people, Indian mind is known for deep learning, deep thinking, and it is enough, in any field of science and technology, not only physics, not only chemistry, in Ayurveda, in medicine, everywhere. It is replete with examples. It is not historically celebrated. It is celebrated even now in practice now. So therefore, please remember that while celebrating National Science Day, we actually salute the spirit of the human mind, especially the Indian mind. We have got tremendous capacity, and you have to remember, as inheritors of those culture, those spirit, we can also deliver. We can also deliver. As we have seen that last 1 year, I think one of the worst times in recent history in humanity, the COVID and all that, we were all disturbed. Not a single sphere of human activity was spared. But then we continued with science and technology. Classes were closed, universities were closed, but classes were on. Classrooms were closed, but classes were on. We were online. Right? The technology platform came over. So science and technology has got tremendous power. So that is why the theme of this year's Science Day has been chosen as the future of science, technology, innovation, STI, and impacts on education, work, and skill. We have to remember quite a few things. I would bring in to the perspective now, while celebrating Science Day with this theme, the focus given on the new National Education Policy of India, which has come after a long 34 years. There is a tremendous emphasis on STEM education, science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. There is an overall emphasis on changing the paradigm of education itself, combining the entire gamut of our traditional heritage Indian knowledge system, combining it with what is coming up. What is coming up is very important because we are now confronting Industry 4.0. Young students, those who do not know, see, human civilization started the story with agriculture 10,000 years ago, and that led to mechanization, and that is industry stage 1.0. And innovation of biotechnology with agriculture by numerous anonymous scientists through their sheer observation and analysis of natural phenomena of the living world, they came up with agriculture. And that was a turning point in human civilization. People now had to go for a very settled life, coming out of the wilderness, fighting every day for life, with wild animals, beasts, and also natural disasters. They have a settled life now. They have enough time to look at underworld, look at the universe, think about it, deep thinking, and coming up with the mystery behind the phenomena that we were witnessing at those points in time, thousands of years back. And that was the beginning of civilization. Industry 1.0. It continued for many, many years till 19th century, mid-19th century, modern time, historical time, when we found that from water, steam can be produced, and from steam we can run a turbine and we can generate electricity. That was the second turning point in human civilizational story. That led to industrial revolution and many other things, not only in science. It led to changes in politics, economy, society, culture, everywhere. We got colonialism, so many things have come up. So that was another turning point, Industry 2.0 with electricity. Now, Industry 3.0 came with, that was in our lifetime, in 1970s. We saw the coming of the computers. We saw the evolution of the beginning of the ICT. And we are still with it. The impact of ICT is so tremendous that it has brought in paradigm shifts in our functioning. Every sphere of our life, human life, in every country has been impacted by computer science revolution. No doubt about it. So therefore, This is Industry 3.0. Now we have progressed further to Industry 4.0, when we are finding it new technologies like artificial intelligence. A part of it is machine learning. Then we are encountering big data analytics. We need new technology, and there are new technologies emerging and evolving to analyze the enormous amount of data that we have generated through our observations in different spheres, whether it is science, astronomy, medicine, economics, society, sociology, anywhere, in every field, there are a tremendous body of data now. Now, how to analyze this data to get truth and knowledge, how to transform this digital data into usable knowledge. So that is a challenge. And then we have robotics, mechatronics, and whatnot. We have the genomics. From genomics, we have gone on to proteomics. So, tremendous changes in the field of science and technology, sweeping science and technology innovation. How do we predict this innovations? It is unpredictable. It is unpredictable how it will impact us. There are speculations, there are scientific speculations, there are fictional speculations about what is awaiting humanity in another 50 years, another 100 years from now. So we have to prepare. And along with that, what is coming is that these new technologies, emerging technologies of artificial intelligence and what I have just mentioned, these are going to present tremendous new opportunities we still do not know. So we have to orient ourselves in different ways. Not only we have to be skilled, we have to be knowledgeable, we have to be familiar with technologies, but we have to also shift our gears in ways unknown to us as yet. So on National Science Day, we have to really try to figure out what are the possibilities that we can think about. We have to change our syllabi according to the new education policy. So these, otherwise we are going to miss the bus again, and which we cannot afford to. So National Science Day celebration really presents tremendous opportunities for all of us, not only to look at what is happening in science, but also what will happen in science and technology. And for that, for greater realization and the possibilities and our own potentials, we have to take a while to look back at our own past, the Indian heritage, what we did, what our predecessors did thousands of years back. We cannot write it off. We may not accept wholeheartedly 100% of what was there as science or as knowledge, but then we have to take cognizance of the fact that those were the outcome of deep thinking, more than the outcome of any instrumental output. So these are certain observations that come to my mind when we sit here in this afternoon and think about the celebrating science and technology. And especially it has got different connotations with respect to India, in the sense that, please remember, India is the youngest nation in the world and will remain so for another several years, because the proportion of young people in the Indian demography is highest. So you have got tremendous ability to think, because biologically the human mind is at its peak at your age, not at my age at 65, 66, right? Just like your capacity of physical strength is maximum at your age now. I cannot run as fast as you. I cannot climb a hill the way you will climb now, right? I cannot do that because age has its own biology and science. So you have a tremendous potential in the sense that at your age, biologically, your mind can act with unbelievable capacity of imagination and innovation and creativity. We have to harness it, that creative potential. You have to channelize it, and in channelizing, we have to remember where to channelize. We have to look at the future. We should be able to look at the future. For that, a little bit of speculation, a little bit of deeper thinking again will be required. And Tezpur University is doing so well. I am physically maybe anywhere, but my mind is rooted in Tezpur University, Professor Jain. I started with every brick of this university, every brick in the walls of the university. We have witnessed, we have seen, we have experienced how the university evolved in 1995, 97 to today. It is unbelievable. We could not foresee this university at that point in time ourselves, in our lifetime. And I cannot imagine what will happen another 20 years from now to Tezpur University with brilliant people like you, right? We have one tremendous infrastructure. That is our mind. Mind is the biggest and the richest, most powerful infrastructure that we have. Now we have to learn how to utilize it, how to channelize it. My best wishes, I will not prolong. I think I have spoken for 20 minutes, 25 minutes allotted to me. I think, thank you so very much. And I look forward to joining you again in the future. Thank you very much, Zain Saab. Thank you very, very much.
Thank you, sir, for enlightening us with your words. Now, Mr. Antarik Parasar, the Assistant Coordinator of Inscignis 2021, is going to speak a few words.
A very warm good evening to everyone present in the inauguration ceremony of Inscignis 2021. I, Antarik Parasar, the Assistant Coordinator of Inscignis 21, hereby welcome you all to the biggest science fest in Northeast. Each year, the level of Inscignis rises up extraordinarily. Every year, it is conducted in an offline mode, and it just goes so well. But this year, we all faced a mammoth change and difficulties in our way of conducting Inscignis due to the prevailing conditions. COVID-19 has affected the globe, but as always, we say opportunity never comes back. So we made our obstacles into our asset and moved forward to conduct this science fest in a level that our senior batches made. The theme of this year is Vigyanaha Pradhanam Uttaram. It means that science is the answer to everything. We basically chose this topic because amidst the pandemic, we are facing a global crisis, but all we have is the hope. A hope that is only possible with science. In fact, Inscignis is all possible just because of the technology and science. This year, we introduced a lot of new and exciting events like Crash Challenge, Best from Waste, Chessmatics, Error, Veritates, and 2020 A Science View. We are also continuing a lot of our previous events like Nerds, Rubik's, Cerebrum, and Thalamus with a new flavor through the online mode. We faced a lot of difficulties while planning and designing the event, but now it seems that every small bit of effort was worth it. We are sure that every participant will get a whole lot of new events and fun by participating in these events. We made the social media our main weapon and tried to make a mark on the dashboard. We are the first batch to conduct Inscignis in an online mode. We wanted to prove that no situations can stop us from achieving our dreams, because once the show winds up, it is all over. Hence, the show must go on. Thank you very much.
ধন্যবাদ শ্রীমান আন্তরিক পৰাশৰ। এতিয়া শলাগৰ পৰা আগবঢ়াব আমাৰ 2021 বৰ্ষৰ ছাত্ৰ সমন্বয়ক শ্ৰীমান ঋত্বিক পলে।
Hello. Thank you, Karan. I would like to start. Am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Hello.
Yes, you are audible.
Yeah. Actually, I'm in a hostel. I'm in the hostel, so I might get some internet issues. Like your videos were sometime buffering. So, okay. So I would like to start now. A warm greetings to all the viewers, to all the person present here at GMeet right now. My name is Hrithik Pal, from the 8th semester of Department of Physics, Tezpur University. I have been part of Inscignis since 2018, and this year I have been given the honor to serve as the student coordinator of Inscignis 2021. So I would like to start my vote of thanks by giving our respected chief guest, Dr. Alok Kumar Buragoin, for being present here with us in such an auspicious day. And sir, I was really delighted to know about your part in the formation of Student Science Council. I would like to thank the Vice Chancellor of Tezpur University, Professor Vinod Kumar Jain. I would also like to thank the Dean of School of Sciences, Professor Debojit Hazarika, and along with all the other deans present here with us today. I would like to give my most heartfelt thanks to our faculty coordinator, Dr. Vipul Sharma, for his support and guidance he has given us since Inscignis 2020. I would like to extend my gratitude to the faculty advisors of Student Science Council and heads of the respective Department of Sciences. I would also like to thank all the faculties and dignitaries present here today. I would like to express my heartfelt gratitude toward the entire Inscignis 2021 team. They have worked really hard to conduct this event, even though we are facing such a crisis right now. I would like to thank the Student Science Council of Tezpur University. I would also like to acknowledge Tezpur University and all its faculties and staff who has helped us in our journey by providing financial assistance, teaching learning center, computer center, and all the other services that were necessary to be able to conduct this event virtually during such tough times. I would like to thank our sponsors, event partners, and media partners for providing financial assistance, platform for conducting the event, and also for helping us reach a larger audience respectively. And a special mention I would like to give to the anchors of this inauguration program, Gargi and Karan, and also all the others who are right now helping us in live streaming and other stuffs, who have worked hard to make this event a successful one. There are many people involved who has help us Inscignis 2021 reach the goal to conduct this event successfully. So, and in this short time slot that I've been given, I am unable to mention all of their names. So I beg my pardon for all the names that I've missed. I would like to thank everyone who were directly or indirectly involved for this successful conduct of this event. And lastly, a special mention to the audience currently viewing this event and all the participants who are taking part in all the events of Inscignis. Your participation and satisfaction is a sign of success that we highly value. With this, I would like to end my speech. Thank you.
Thank you, Ritik Pan. Now I request everyone to kindly stand up for the national anthem.
Okay.
উদ্বোধনী অনুষ্ঠানত উপস্থিত আজি এই উদ্বোধনী অনুষ্ঠানত উপস্থিত থাকি সহায় সহযোগিতাৰ মাজেৰে যিদৰে আপোনালোকে অনুষ্ঠানটি সফল কৰি তুলিলে তাৰ বাবে তেজপুৰ বিশ্ববিদ্যালয় ছাত্ৰ বিজ্ঞান পৰিষদৰ ফালৰ পৰা অশেষ ধন্যবাদ জ্ঞাপন কৰিম।
Thank you.